Well, it's official. We've gone full Govee for all our lights up here in the loft. I'm a little dark right now, but the room is plenty bright. Hey everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. This is a tech edition. I decided to make some changes. I actually just recently purchased the Govee bulb lights, and I liked them so much I invested in the LED lights for behind my couch. And I like those so much I decided to make my mission to go find the DreamView T1 lights. But I didn't find those, I found something different. Let's talk about it. So all the research I did was for the Govee DreamView T2 lights to go behind the TV that mimic the color that it sees around the screen. However, every place I went to was either sold out or didn't have those particular ones. We finally ended up at Best Buy where we picked up these ones here, but as you see, it's called Govee Smart TV Backlight 3S. Here's what threw me off. When I decided to do some research on it, look them up, I couldn't find anything about these lights anywhere, not even on Govee's website. I even searched the model number with Govee, and they said that model number didn't exist. But then I started doing some more research, and I saw some stuff online in different I almost said chat rooms again, like I'm in the 90s, but different forums where they all said, basically it's the same thing, just subtle differences. And I'm gonna go ahead and install these, walk you through what I did to install them, and talk about those differences, and why these, for the same price, might not be as good as tracking down the one I was originally looking for. Let me explain. But first, let's set them up. So let's unbox and take a look at it together. I will give a little bit of a caveat. I did already open it because I wanted to check the power source to see if I had to run a different power cable, if I can use the existing one from my Fiat lights. Spoilers, not the same one. So let's take a look and open this together and go through it. So I already talked about it a little bit, but I'll say a little bit more. What threw me off, it is a different name on there. So let's go ahead and unbox our new Govee TV backlights. Two caveats. One, like I said earlier, it is a different name on there from the one we were initially looking for, but according to the specs, it's pretty much the same thing, and I haven't found any reviews on this one anywhere. Part two is I did already open it, and that was because I wanted to see if I could use the existing power cable I had ran, so I really don't have to fish everything through the wall again. But unfortunately, it is not the same. I'm gonna have to fish everything through the wall again. So that's kind of lame. But let's open it together and take a quick look. Oh, dramatic effect. So we got our paperwork there. Here's the lights themselves, what I like about these ones, the reason I decided to go with those, it has the cable connecting at the corners, so you don't have to find weird ways to secure your LEDs down. The little bend in there is designed for you to secure them down separately and doesn't affect the lighting package at all. So first things first. Anyone else ever think of that Imagine Dragons song when they say that? There we go. It looks like it is the control box, which this mounts behind the TV as well using 3M tape. And it has 3 different settings, including like brightness, mode, and everything else. And everything plugs into it, including the camera and the LEDs through USB-C. And the other side is just a regular power. This part that I was hoping would fit, unfortunately, wasn't the same with my old one. And what's below here is that cable. Let's open it up. Yeah, just your standard plug-in. So I'm going to have to run this part here through the wall, which is not going to be the fun part, unfortunately. So I'm not taking this TV off the wall because that's a very heavy TV. I still can't lift stuff because of my surgery. Even if I had someone else, that is still way above anything I'm allowed to lift right now. And last part here, this presumably, yep, there's our camera. And there's our orange blocks. And these are going to help us calibrate the TV a little bit later. But here is the camera. So here's the camera, like I said, USB-C connection, and this camera will sit on top of the TV. Oh, and it actually is just sticky, so that is different than the other one that uses weight to balance it down. So this one will actually stick to the TV. Not sure how I feel about that, but it is what it is. I've already removed the old LEDs from the TV, so now it's just a matter of prepping it and running the new ones. I don't know if I have the energy now. We'll be back. So one of the fears I had was the USB-C cable was not going to be long enough to actually reach, but that is actually a fairly long one, so that is no longer a concern. So I already prepped the surface and I skipped ahead. I ran the cable through the wall because I didn't know how long it was going to take or if I was going to be able to do it easily without taking the TV off the wall. Obviously I can't take the TV off the wall right now because and I'm by myself. But now's the time to put the lights on. It should be dry back there. Should be clean. I was actually really proud of myself trying to figure out because I can't really run my fishing tape behind the wall right now. So I was like, how do I get this cable through? My wife has yarn. Yarn worked like a charm. All right, so the cool thing about this, like I said, it has plenty long enough cable. And when you get to the breakpoints, it's actually already set up for you to just set it up. So let's get it set up now. LEDs are completely set up now. I don't know why, that was harder than I thought it was going to be. It's easier if you have two people, but it's just me. Look at that handsome guy. Just me. And make sure you prep your surfaces for the sticky stuff using alcohol prep wipe to clean it off. And with the camera, you want to get in close to the middle as possible. And earlier when I said is basically the same thing that I was looking at before. It's not. The other one has like a weighted thing to hold it back. This one is sticky. So I have to put sticky stuff on my TV. Not really particularly happy about that, but it is what it is. And you really want to get this as close to the center as possible, but I don't feel like measuring, so we're going to eyeball it. And realistically, because you have to calibrate it, as long as it's close to the middle, that's all that matters. Now that we have them hooked up, we're going to use the Govee app to set them up.
How does it work?
That's what we're trying to figure out, kiddo. There we go. Daddy, I hit the wrong button. That's my bad. Okay, now we're going to do the calibration, Charlie. So it's going to ask you a series of questions of where the camera and everything's set up. So ours is set up at the top. And the one we have right now is that one, because we have the blue light on top and we have the red light on bottom. And make sure you have it set to your 2.4 gigahertz. I have to keep going back and doing that so I keep forgetting to switch it. And you probably noticed we still have some of the cables and everything exposed. We're not going to worry about that until after we have it set up. Okay, got them all set up. Lights are on, TV's off. We're going to hit ready. Now it's going to have us choose where all the orange squares are. So let's do this. And this is a lot easier said than done. Okay, I think that's as good as we're going to get. Oh, okay, cool. Because I was concerned it wasn't going to give us, let's choose the other ones specifically, but it does. It just makes you wait till after you calibrate the first round. Okay, we're going to have to redo this a little bit because those were way off. Okay, it's saying calibration is successful. It's going through some light stuff now. And that's all she wrote. It is calibrated and ready to be set up the rest of the way. Let me play with this and I'll get back to you guys. And there we have it. It's all set up. Now it's just a matter of hiding the wires. Let's talk about it entirely here from beginning to end, and I'll tell you exactly what my thoughts are and maybe not make some mistakes I made. So it's actually been like a week since I finished installing all the Govee lights. I'm gonna give you my couple pros and cons, and I'll make this short and sweet for you so you can get out and make your decision for yourself. So first off, my pros is the color is wonderful. It's easy and great because it's voice activated through Google Home, through Alexa, and so on. My cons, one, I wish I would have got the camera that actually had the weight on back in order to actually balance it out, because what's been happening is, and you can see it on Freaks right there, there's tape, and that's because it keeps slightly leaning forward. I've had to replace it several times, and because of that, when you're watching stuff on the TV here, the color starts to get off a little bit. Like, you know, everything along the bottom of the screen will be red, but for some reason it'll be like blue below, because right here is something blue. So the camera could be a little bit better as far as positioning goes. The other thing is, if you have it at full brightness, to me it takes away a little bit from whatever you're watching on screen, so I end up having to turn it down a little bit. With that being said, one of the cons or pros is, once I turn down to like that 40%, I think it looks phenomenal. But I do find myself mostly watching it with just a solid color in the background of the TV. Only time I don't do that is when I'm watching something with the kids and I want them to see like, oh, that's cool, look at this. Or when I showed them like the color test when I first had it set up and everything was perfect. One of the other pros is it's nice to be able to control the lights just through your voice or just through your phone app. That's great. So like walking up the stairs, I had a friend stop by yesterday to pick some stuff up. As they're walking the stairs, I just said, you know, Google, turn on the loft, and boom, all the lights are on. Fantastic. My last con. I can't really watch it during the day, even with all like the windows and everything completely closed. The light is really drowned out. So only time it's really useful is at night. But that's where my last pro comes in. If you want to have that ultimate movie going experience or just ambient lighting like when you're recording videos and whatnot, it's phenomenal. I recommend Govee to anyone that's willing to get them, try them out. Remember, this is not sponsored or anything. This is me spending money out of my own pocket. So Govee, I think, hit it on the head. As I've tried some other ones like Feet and a few other like the Philips Hues. Hues were okay, but so far Govee to me is the most user-friendly. Couple tips, make sure you have a 2.4 gigahertz system all set up and ready to go. And also, don't be afraid to make mistakes. There's one thing I can't stop looking at that's been bothering me. Let me show you real quick. They came with little clips to hide these cables right behind, but no matter what I did, it would pop it off and it just pops up. So when I'm watching TV right here on the wall, you can see where the light's kind of, it's casting a shadow. So not the biggest fan of that. But that's one of my main complaints. And if that's it, these are a pretty good product. So hopefully you check them out. Hey guys, thanks for watching. This has been a tech edition of Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. And let's take another ride again soon. Bye-bye, everybody.